Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, sit tight because today we're diving deep into some of the most intriguing storylines involving the Dallas Cowboys, especially in light of recent events that have stirred up a lot of chatter around the NFL. It has been a roller coaster of emotions, drama, and intense football. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you know that every season, every game, every move has the potential to shift the entire landscape of the NFC East. And right now, the buzz is all about the ongoing saga involving Micah Parsons, the Cowboys star linebacker, and owner Jerry Jones, a figure as iconic and outspoken as ever. Now, as many of you already know, Parsons has been one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league over the past couple of seasons. His explosiveness, instincts, and sheer talent have made him a cornerstone of Dallas' defense. But in a surprising turn of events during the offseason, Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers. That move, which caught many fans off guard, set off a ripple effect that is still echoing through the NFL corridors. And what's really fascinating about this situation isn't just the trade itself, but the fallout, particularly the simmering tension between Parsons and Jerry Jones. You see, Parsons didn't hold back when asked about how he found out about the trade. In fact, he made it pretty clear that he was more than a little disappointed that he wasn't informed directly by the Cowboys owner himself. Instead, Parsons revealed that he found out through his agent, not from Jones, which, for a player of his caliber and importance, is pretty shocking. Parsons, speaking openly about the situation, said, "I didn't even get to talk to my owner, the person who drafted me. I found out through my agent. So to me that emotion side was pointless because the same way he called me into his office as a man, he couldn't tell me about the trade as a man. That's a pretty direct shot, isn't it? It shows how much this move hurt him, not just in terms of business but emotionally too. And if you think that was the end of it, think again." Jerry Jones, ever the outspoken and colorful owner, didn't shy away from firing back when asked about Parsons' comments. Initially, he tried to play it cool, saying, "I really don't want to respond to that at all." But then, with a little nudging, the truth slipped out. Jones quipped, "That phone call thing got stopped when he told me to take his number off my dial. It was don't call him anymore, so I quit those calls." Now you've got to admit that classic Jones witty, a bit provocative and clearly unbothered. But it also reveals how much tension has been simmering beneath the surface between the two. This entire saga is more than just about a trade. It's about a clash of personalities, philosophies, and ambitions. Parsons, a young and incredibly talented player, was seeking a lucrative extension and trying to negotiate a new deal that would keep him in Dallas long-term. But Jerry Jones, known for being a shrewd and sometimes stubborn owner, wasn't willing to overpay for a player who, despite his talent, was embroiled in contract negotiations. Over the summer, the public jabs and subtle digs became more frequent. Jones, for his part, publicly made comments that seemed to undermine Parsons' value, which only fueled the fire. Now, what makes this story even more compelling is the potential future implications. Will this feud stay just a media story, or could it actually influence the Cowboys' season? Well, that depends. Parsons is now with the Packers, and he has been making a name for himself in Green Bay. In their recent game against Dallas, Parsons had a monster performance, recording 8 pressures, 3 quarterback hits, and the team's only sack. That's impressive for a player facing his former team, and it clearly shows that Parsons isn't just moving on quietly. No, he is still playing at an elite level, and that's got to be a bitter pill for Cowboys fans to swallow. And speaking of that game, it ended in a surprising 40-40 tie, which honestly was a bit of a letdown for both sides, but especially for Parsons, who admitted he was pissed off after the game. His words echoed his disappointment. "I am very disappointed in how we performed," he said, pointing out that the Packers' defense had some of their worst moments of the season, giving up 40 points and over 430 yards. It's a night that will be remembered not just because of the score, but because of the underlying drama that played out on the field. Parsons even took a moment to commend Packers quarterback Jordan Love, saying, "Thank you for having our back today," highlighting the camaraderie and effort from his new team, even as he still holds unresolved feelings about his former team. This game also exposed some cracks in the Packers' defense, which had been surprisingly vulnerable. Giving up their most points and yards of the season, it is clear that they have some issues to address, especially as they head into their next challenge against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Packers have a bye week now to regroup and analyze what went wrong, but the lingering questions about their defensive consistency will be on everyone's minds until they step back onto the field. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, sitting comfortably in their division, are looking to capitalize on this rivalry and keep their momentum going. Now, let us take a moment here, pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. What does all of this mean for the Dallas Cowboys and the NFC East? Well, first off, the Cowboys are solidifying their position as one of the top teams in the division. They have a talented roster, led by Dak Prescott, who has been playing some of the best football of his career this season. Prescott's accuracy and leadership have been key factors in the Cowboys' success, especially in their recent offensive displays. His connection with wide receivers like C.D. Lamb has been electric, and the offensive line has held up well, giving him the time he needs to pick defenses apart. On the defensive side, the Cowboys continue to be a formidable force, with Micah Parsons as their undisputed star. His ability to rush the passer, set the edge, and make game-changing plays is unmatched in the league. But now, with Parsons thriving in Green Bay, the Cowboys have to find new ways to generate pressure and keep their defense sharp. The depth in their linebacker core and the emergence of young players will be tested. But if they can maintain their defensive intensity, they'll be right in the thick of the NFC playoff race. The NFC East itself is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in recent memory. The Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, and New York Giants are all vying for supremacy, and every game counts. For the Cowboys, it's about staying focused, avoiding the distractions that come with rivalries and drama, and playing their brand of football. They've shown resilience this season, bouncing back from tough losses, and always keeping their eyes on the prize, a deep playoff run, and ultimately another shot at the Super Bowl. But let us circle back to the bigger picture. The ongoing tension between Jones and Parsons could be a subplot that influences the Cowboys' season, or it could be a passing feud that cools down with time. Owner Jerry Jones has a long history of being outspoken and sometimes controversial, and he is not one to shy away from expressing his opinions, especially when it comes to his team or his players. Parsons, on the other hand, is young, confident, and eager to prove himself at every turn. The fact that he is thriving in Green Bay only adds fuel to the fire, as Cowboys fans watch with a mixture of pride and frustration. If Parsons continues to excel in Green Bay, especially with the Packers making a push for the playoffs, the narrative could shift from a feud to a rivalry that spans seasons. Imagine the playoff scenarios if both teams make it that far, where Parsons and Dallas meet again, perhaps in a high-stakes game that could determine their postseason fate. That's the kind of storyline that makes the NFL so captivating, and we're all here for it, counting every moment, every snap. Now, looking ahead, the Cowboys have a lot to be optimistic about. Their roster is talented, their coaching staff is sharp, and they've shown an ability to adapt and overcome adversity. The focus now shifts to maintaining consistency, avoiding injuries, and sharpening their game plan for the stretch run. They've already proven they can beat tough opponents, but the challenge is to do it week after week, especially with the NFC landscape so competitive. Meanwhile, Parsons and the Packers will be looking to build on their recent performance, tighten up their defense, and push their way into postseason contention. The NFL season is a long road, filled with ups and downs, surprises, and heartbreaks, but it's also what makes football so addictive. The stories, rivalries, and individual battles are what keep us glued to our screens, eagerly awaiting each new chapter. And you know what, Cowboys fans? This season isn't just about winning games. It's about the stories we tell, the rivalries we cherish, and the passion we share for this incredible team. The drama between Parsons and Jones adds a layer of intensity that makes every game even more compelling. It reminds us that football is not just about XS and OS, it's about personalities, pride, and the pursuit of greatness. So, as we keep an eye on the unfolding saga and the upcoming matchups, remember that the Dallas Cowboys are still very much in the thick of things. They re-fighting, they re-competing, and they re-striving for that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl. And no matter how the drama unfolds, one thing is for sure: Cowboys Nation is louder than ever. And we're here to bring you all the updates, analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories that make this team so special. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this whole Parsons-Jones situation? Do you think it will blow over, or is it something that could linger and impact the team's chemistry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and all the latest from Cowboys country, so stay tuned for the next big story in the NFL. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.